Shiny Pokemon are some of the most revered features in the franchise, and of all the different ways to hunt them, none are more interesting to take a deep dive into than Horde battles. But what about Horde battles makes them so interesting? Horde battles have the player encounter 5 Pokemon, one of which could be shiny. Nothing actually stops you from finding more though. You could find 2, or 3, 4, even 5 of them could all be shiny at the same time. But what kind of odds would you be looking at? In the games that you encounter Hordes at, you can find them in the base odds at 1 in 4096. There are no additional boosts to Horde hunting, and that means that the odds can be simply written out as... No, that's just incorrect. The odds are actually written out as 1 in 4096 times 1 in 4096 times 1 in 4096 times 1 in 4096 times 1 in 4096, or even more simply, 1 in 4096 to the 5th. That gives you the exact odds of 1 in 1 quintillion, 152 quadrillion, 921 trillion, 504 billion, 606 million, 846,926. Wait, it can't be over. There's so much left to talk about, so many more numbers to think about. Look how small that red bar is down there. It's not over. We're going to make the numbers a little bit simpler to understand. We're going to start with exactly 1 3DS, and we'll say each encounter takes 1 second, start to start. This would take you exactly 1 quintillion, 152 quadrillion, 921 trillion, 504 billion, 606 million, 846,926 seconds to complete. Woo! Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye. But I'm not going to live that long, and I want to do this now. We'll just raise the odds more. We already have the charm. We'll just add more games. In total, there's 16.5 million copies of X and Y and 14.4 million copies of Oris, totaling 31 million copies. We'll assume that you could buy 31 million of either game. Checking single cartridge pricing on pricecharting.com, you can see the X and Y averages for $27.54, about $456 million for 31 million copies, and Oris averages about $27.50, about $455 million for 31 million copies. You could always buy digitally, of course, for $59.95, 31 million copies of which would cost you $994 million. But each game will also need its own console, and the cheapest console I could find on price charting was the Nintendo 2DS Super Mario Bros. 2 edition for $65.42. Buying 31 million of them would cost you about $2 billion. 31 million consoles and 31 million games will cost you about $3 billion. But 31 million consoles and games, that's not gonna make a dent in 37 billion years. I mean, it only brings us down to a measly 37 billion seconds, 619 million minutes, 10 million hours, 429,000 days. We lowered the time to 1,177 years. I won't live that long, but I can pass it down to my kids and their kids, and it'd be a fun family legacy. But I've been lying to you. This is before the shiny charm. With the charm, it comes down to 152 million seconds, 2 million minutes, 42,000 hours, 1,766 days. It comes down to the tiny 4.8 years, completely possible within your life and mine. You could get this done before you get your master's. Well, except for the fact that you're doing this 24/7, 365, and this is 1 encounter a second instead of 1 per 10 seconds, and you're paying about $3 billion to reach these odds. But you'll certainly get a lot of shinies. And if you really enjoyed this, let me know, and I will make a video about how many shinies you can expect to get hunting a 5 shiny horde.